Now. The federal government, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, over the weekend faulted a social media post by the United States Embassy in Abuja and testimonies of Catholic priests at a U.S. congressional hearing regarding the killing of Christians in Benue State. Well, on March 12th, Catholic clerics Bishop Wilfred Anegbe and Reverend Father Ihulia testified before a U.S. committee saying that the experience of Nigerian Christians in Benue State can be summed up as that of a church under Islamist extermination. Bishop Anegbe stated that his diocese in Benue has lost about 15 parishes between 2018 and 2024, with about 140 priests kidnapped or killed, and many churches destroyed by Fulani militants. The priests further criticized the Nigerian authorities for failing to stop the killings, while following their testimony, the Catholic priests alleged threats against them. In response, the U.S. mission in Nigeria, in a post on X, stated that it was disturbed by the reports of intimidation and threats against the religious leaders. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in a statement, described the claims as inaccurate and misrepresentative of the country's efforts in tackling insecurity. The federal government further reiterated its commitment to protecting the lives and property of all citizens, regardless of their faith or ethnicity, and pledged to investigate any reports of threats or intimidation against the religious leaders. I mean, this was a story that was circulating over the weekend. I know that the religious leaders claimed that, the Fulani militants were killing and displacing Christians. This has been going on for what? Decades now. And, they've come out, they've gone to the U.S. Congress to, state their plight. But now we're seeing the federal government saying that, it's a misrepresentation of the facts, it's an act of terrorism, and that they've been doing everything that, they can to protect the people of Benue, the Christians in Benue State.
Hodgie, with due respect, that was a very lame response by the federal government. Very, very lame. They said nothing. Yeah, we've been fixing insecurity. The question I want to ask the federal government is, are the hard evidences by that Catholic cleric, are they wrong?
There were hard evidences.
Hard evidence. It happened to him. He said they've lost 15 parish. Do they have any other empirical fact to the contrary? No. It's just a sweeping generalization that we're fighting against security. And you see, the federal government makes this mistake a lot. When you criticize against insecurity, they start to vituperate, they start to jakburo. Jakburoism. It scratches them like wirekwe. You see, the problem is, this report is not only talking about the Tinubu administration. It's talking about from 2018.
Correct.
So Buhari administration is also there, but they take it on because they're the government of power, they don't want it. Just like how the Minister of Information had a tiff with the governor of Borno State. You can't know what's happening on ground in Borno like the governor. So please, it's best they take in the criticism and they investigate. The question is it happening? We've seen a lot of kidnapping and killing of Catholic clerics in every part of the country, including Benue. Most of these cases, are even underreported. The state of insecurity is so rampant that most of the cases are underreported. Most of them don't even get to major news networks. Take, for instance, what happened in Safe yesterday. On Saturday night was probably only reported maybe by the likes of the ones that Daily Trust are able to pick up and other media. So we must do something against the high level of insecurity. That's why people have called it ethnic cleansing.
Right.
Deliberately targeting a group of people for their land, for resource.
Right.
Which is sad, and also across religious lines.
Right.
But I don't want it to be majorly about religion, because on the flip side, we also have Muslims that are being attacked.
Yes.
As Christians are being attacked, Muslims are also being attacked. But the government should be able to introspect. Look at it. Benue used to be the breadbasket of the nation.
That's it.
But what is happening? The same thing happened when the former governor of Benue had to set up his own local, vigilante group to be able to fight. We covered it live at launch here.
Well, let me tie this in together. Well, let's now take a look at this poem by a young woman from Benue State, decrying the herdsmen's killings that have claimed several lives and displaced thousands. She urged the federal government to intervene and stop the killings. Here's a snippet.
The food basket of the nation is now blood basket of the nation. The land once lush with green, now hush and grim, filled with sullen faces with no hope to survive the day like arid ground in want of rain. Pain is plain. It's daybreak. Folks are supposed to go to their farms, but farms are not the safest places to be. It's nightfall. It's heartbreak. It's heartache. Over destroyed homes, destroyed crops, slaughtered brethren, bloodshed. Motherland is not the safest place to be. The land loud with violence, flooding with the blood of the young and old alike. Great sons fall like autumn leaves, dead bodies scatter like mustard seeds. Homes empty out, while IDP camps flood their banks with the young and old, all in their ranks. Living is worse than a brutal crime. They say tough times don't last. Tell that to the people of Goma, who have watched herdsmen turn gunmen. Tell that to the people of Turan. Tell that to the people of Kwande, who have had bullets sprayed on them like rainwater, who have been changed to nothing but chicken for slaughter. Tell that to youths who this have cost them futures. Tell that to people who do nothing but levitate, have their foot in suspended mid-air, meditate on the next baba blast of a trigger or the next pointing of a finger to the voice of a brother. Bella, never know will this ever stop. Stop Benue killings. Let the lives of kinsmen cease to be pawns in the game of politics. Stop Benue killings. Let motherland be home again.
I hope that this video resonates with the security agencies, the federal government of Nigeria. I mean, this young girl's poem really touched my heart, and I thought it was important to highlight it. I mean, to stop Benue killings, stop the killings in Plateau, stop the killings in the southeast, stop the killings across Nigeria. It is really becoming a very, very worrying situation.